Alright. First I'm going to go through all these animations and re-import the ones that I need to loop. So the air somersault does not need it. Boon, no. Boon, alt, boost, idle. All of the idles need to loop, so we'll put that at linear. Re-import. Oop. Oh yeah, boost idle, boost up. Cartwheel, no. Climb, yeah, that needs to be looping. Climb, idle, looping. Crawl needs to be looping. Crawl, idle, loop. Down. Down doesn't need a loop, but down idle does. Fall. Yeah, that should be looping. Fireflies, no. Hurt. No, that shouldn't loop. Idle, all the idles need a loop. Inward slash, no. Jog, yes, that should loop. Jump. Jump alt. Outward slash pick up hoop. Pull. Yeah, that needs to loop. Push needs to loop. Pull. Push. Idle needs to loop. The spells don't. Swim. Yeah, that should loop. Swing should loop. Swing idle. Throw. Throw idle. Walk. And finally whirl jump. No, that should not loop. Alright, re-import all that. Let's make sure it all went through. So we have, for example, swim. Yep. Okay, that's looping. Alright. Let's start creating the character. There should be a character body. Cut. Copy. Paste. We'll call this player. Alright, need a collision shape. Get rid of that. And we'll save this right away into our scenes as player. Let's go ahead and I guess we can create a group right away. Global group. Global, we'll call this players. Right? And we need a collision shape. Collision. For now, let's just make it a capsule. Okay. This collision shape will be basically the collision shape for colliding with the terrain. So honestly, this can be a little bit bigger, so you can collide smoothly. So honestly, I'm just gonna leave it kind of like that, so you can kind of slide on the terrain a little bit better. We should add collision layers as well. So let's make Layer 1 can be terrain. Layer 2 can be players. Layer 3 can be enemies. Start with that. So project settings, physics. I think we're using Jolt physics right now, right? Yeah. Wait, how do we find the collision layers? Navigation. Layer names, here we go. 3D physics. Layer 1 will be terrain. Layer 2 will be players. 3 will be enemies. Okay. Close that. So the player needs to be in layer 2. Masking for terrain. Yeah, and that should be the only thing you're colliding with, just the terrain for now. For enemies, I'll add different areas for colliding with enemies, because the collision for the terrain needs to be different from the collision with enemies. I don't want this giant collision shape colliding with enemies. Mine needs to be a much smaller shape colliding with enemies, but we'll get to that later. Alright, we need a script on the player. First script. Here we go. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the prototype I was working on months ago and kind of follow that for coding the player. It'll be in Godot 4.61. What was it? Nature's Reply, maybe? Twitch says my average stream rate is my average stream bit rate too high. I'll look at that later. Okay, so let's see. First thing I want to do, maybe the camera. The camera controller as a separate scene. Camera controller is a spring arm, a camera target, camera 3D. Oh, the camera controller is not a separate scene. My bad. But it has a separate script. LERP camera 3D dot position to camera target position. Okay. So the camera is not a direct shot of the spring arm. It lerps to the camera target. Got it. Negative event relative to x times mouse sensitivity. Okay. Just no y wrap f. Okay. So we need a zoom in action and a zoom out. Input map. Let's create zoom in. We should call this just well, yeah, let's call it zoom in for now. Zoom in. UI accept, UI left, UI down, UI up, UI page up. Yeah, so this is going to be mouse wheel up, yeah. Right? Mouse wheel up would be zooming and mouse wheel down would be zooming out, yeah. Zoom out. This will be mouse wheel down. Got it. Okay. Alright, let's create another node. This will be our camera controller node. Oh, nope. Node 3D. Hello, camera controller. This is going to have a spring arm and another node 3D as the child of that. This will be the camera target. And then we'll add the camera as a child of that. Camera controller. Let's add a script to this. Camera controller. Create. We don't need ready. We need a variable mouse sensitivity. Float 0.05, and for process we need to lerp f the lerp. We need to what do we need to do again? Camera 3D at position, yeah. To camera 3D dot position equals lerp f from camera 3D dot position to camera target dot position, right? Two few arguments. Oh, at a speed of I don't know, 15. Valid argument for lerp f. Argument 1 should be float, but is vector 3. Is it just lerp? Yeah, just lerp. Delta times 15, yeah. Delta times 15. Because I want this to not depend on the speed of the computer. Yeah, okay. That's the process. And then we need an unhandled input function. Func unhandled input. If event is, what is it? Mouse motion event. Input event mouse motion. Mouse motion. And honestly, why don't I just copy and paste this? Yeah. Copy that. Camera spring arm. Camera spring arm. All right. That should be the camera, no? That should be our camera taken care of. Let's try it out. In main, let's add a new, yeah, I guess let's just add a, we could add terrain. Let's instantiate our player. Okay. Collision, dynamic game, terrain, okay. Let's add the world environment, just to test this. No data directory specified. Data, we'll call this terrain data Directories. Test. Oh, temp. Can I sculpt now? Hi. Whoa. Okay, yeah, I can. Like we can raise this now, right? Yeah. Okay. Just raise it over here a little bit. Maybe have a hill over there, so we can try out the collision a little bit. Okay. All right. Let's see if our camera is set up all right. Key position based object type null instance. Camera 3D. What's going on? Camera controller. Oh, this. Okay. There we go. I think that's the issue. Oh, and this one has an issue, so I renamed it. There we go. Alright, try that again. Alright, we just need to put the camera a little bit higher. Like right there. And we want to set the spring length to... How did I have it looking over here? I'm gonna close up there. Spring arm is set to 5. Oh, and we had a spear shape on the camera as well. Spear shape with a radius of 0.5, yeah. Okay. And this is just colliding with terrain. Okay. Try that again. There we go. Look at that. And we can zoom in and out. Nice. Oh, I need to capture the mouse to be able to move it around. I can just delete this right now. There we go, yes. Okay, perfect. We have our mouse motion. And it's sliding on the terrain walls. Nice, nice and smoothly. Alrighty. I think this is perfect. Keep it like that for now. Let's work on player movement. Okay, so player movement. So we need a state chart. Add that in, state chart. Let's get the state chart going. So first we're gonna need compound state. Compound state. What's there? Compound states really when child say not very useful. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we needed idle walking state. Let me review what we did on the prototype. In menu compound state. So we have the root, and then we have in menu target unlocked. I'm not gonna have that. I didn't like that mechanic that I made in the prototype I worked on months ago. I didn't like the locking mechanic. So we'll have in menu. And an out of menu, I suppose. In menu, out of menu. So in menu, mouse mode visible, and then when we leave, mouse mode captured. Okay. Send event. Just reviewing how this works again, because it's been months since I've coded in Godot. I've just been working on a whole bunch of assets in Blender. So I'm gonna have to review some of this stuff. Looks like we're keeping the skin separate from the player. I wonder why. Okay, so in menu state, root, in menu, out of menu, and then out of menu will have all of like the walking, running, jumping. We'll have an in dialogue, in inventory, and in settings. To target unlocked. I don't think I did anything for these yet. So in menu compound state. Announcement visible. Idle, slow momentum. Escape. Close menu. Alright. Let's get the menu going first. So we actually need this. Just delete that. Delete that. This will be called root. This will be called in menu. And this will be called here. Out of menu. Or we could call it in game. Out of game, something like that. In menu. Out of menu. In menu is gonna have maybe like an in settings and inventory and in dialogue. All these will have like slightly different functionality. Is that the right dialogue? There's two ways to spell dialogue. Dialogue. in dialog, and then out of menu, it'll have states like idle and run. And jump, right? Stuff like that. Idle, run, jump. It'll have fall. What's on here? Initial state must be direct child of this compound state. Initial state will be in settings. And out of menu initial state will be idle. Initial state here should be in menu. Okay. Okay, first of all, getting rid of all this, because it's to be handled by the state chart, so get rid of all this movement. Set maybe the gravity. Yeah, let's keep the gravity for now. Alright, so this will be in menu compound state. Keep it all organized. And we'll have a out of menu compound state. Out of menu compound state. Can't type today. What's going on here? Func on menu state entered. Okay. Yeah. Input dot set. Is it input dot set mouse mode to input dot mouse mode visible. And when we leave, we want to set the mouse mode to captured. Okay. And we leave when we press escape. So is that like physics processing, or yeah, in menu state physics processing. Escape, send event, close menu. So we need a transition. To out of menu. And out of menu will have a to in menu. This will have an event close menu, and this this will have an event open menu. Alright, so on the state physics processing, if input dot is action just pressed escape, and we need to add that to the input map. Escape. Escape. Then we need to state chart. Oh, we need to add the state chart to node reference. Node references. State chart dot send event close menu. And then we should go out of state, and the mouse mode should be captured. And now back in the camera controller, I can say we can only rotate if mouse mode is captured. Alright. What's wrong here? The target state is not set. Oh, that's an issue. Assign to out of menu and assign to in menu. There we go. Alright, let's test to see if the menu state works. So right now I cannot rotate around the player, but if I hit escape, now we can. Cool. Alright. Let me change. Oh. I need to change the window size. So 1920 by 1080. For now. Window 1920 by 1080. Perfect. Nice and big. Okay, let's do an out of menu. So when we want to hit escape, I want to go into settings. Or we just want to go to out of menu. So out of menu, state, physics processing. I don't need another entered exited mouse mode capture because I have that controlled by this one, by the in menu state. So all I need is to look for that escape again. If input dot is action pressed escape state chart to send event open menu. Like that. Alright, let's make sure that works. Okay, so we can't move around. Escape, now we can move our camera around. And then escape again, mouse mode visible, we can exit out. Cool. I'm getting a bunch of terrain 3D warnings. Oh, and delta is never used. Okay. Alright, let's start working on the player movement. What do we have going on for movement? Target unlocked. So the default is idle. Idle state physics processing. We have a slow momentum function. That's easy to make. Honestly, I should just do that right now. Or just copy and paste it, to be honest. Func slow momentum. So we have a slow momentum. If not is on 4, send event falling. Escape. We go to open settings. I want to be able to open the settings for any of these though, right? For idle, walking, running, jumping, falling. But maybe not when using our ability. I mean, I could. I could lock it just to idle. No, because if you're falling, like clipping through the terrain or something, you want to be able to open the settings. Yeah, so I'll keep it like this. For the entire state, the entire out of menu state. I'll call this open settings. the default is in settings. Open settings. Okay. Yeah, and then when we are in menu, we want to slow momentum. So let's go ahead and make that function. Func slow momentum delta parameter. Just copy and paste this. Momentum delta. So it needs to be in the processing function. Remember that. And then in here we want to slow momentum with delta. Okay. Here I want to call move and slide. Move and slide. So I don't have to call it in every single one of the functions. So we have a move and slide being called in slow momentum. This method should be used in node physics process or in a method called by a physics process. Yeah, okay. So move and slide works in slow momentum. Alright. So it's first going to go to idle. Okay. Now here's the issue though. I don't want to call move and slide twice because in here in the idle state physics processing, we also want to slow momentum. Right, idle state. Okay, so in the prototype I made, it looks like I had move and slide in a function called move player as well. Okay. That's cool. I did this prototype really well. function of player based on input. Interesting. Okay, so anyway, I don't want to call move and slide in here. Because move and slide is going to be called in slow momentum. And then when we're moving, it'll be called in move player function. So here, we just want to call slow momentum. When we're in idle state. Okay, and then idle, let's have it transition to run first. This will be on the event oh. There we go. On event, what I've been calling all these? 2 walking, event walking, jumping, falling. To run on event, run. Keep it short and simple. And I think I want to run automatically this time. If input dot is wait, how did I do this? An idle state, if not as a force, input up, down, right, or left. Then we go to walking. Okay. Jumped, escape, and then if nut is on the floor, we go to falling. Simple enough. So let's do if not is on floor. Nope. If not is on floor, state chart dot send event fall. So idle's gonna need a to jump and also a to fall. And then if input that is action pressed, and then I need all the inputs. So we'll do up, down, right, and left. Up, down, right, and left. So if input that is action pressed up or down or right or left. We want to state chart dot send event run. And finally, if input that is action just pressed, we need our jump. Jump, we'll call it, should I just call it space? I'll call it jump for now. Jump. State chart, send event. To run. So this is going to run. To jump. This is going to on event jump. It's going to jump. And then fall. Or to fall. It's going to fall on event fall. There we go. Okay. Let's add a state chart debugger. State chart. Isn't there a state chart debugger somehow? State chart debugger. Yeah, this. How do I find the state chart debugger? State chart debug. What? Where's the state chart debugger? What? State chart. Where's the state chart debugger? Oh, is it a scene? Oh, it's a scene. It's not a node. Instantiate state chart debugger. There it is. Okay. Put that right above the state chart. And assign it to state chart. Okay. Dunta Live, how's it going? It's going good. I'm just starting a new game. I'm in summer break right now, so I'll have a bunch of time to put this together. The past few months I've just been I've been working on building a bunch of assets in Blender. Now I'm finally starting to code the functionality. Do I stream every day or do I have a schedule? So I was in school, but I'm in break right now. So I'll be streaming probably 2 or 3 times a week. Probably on Tuesdays and Thursdays for sure. Yeah, so for the next few months this summer I'll be streaming pretty consistently. So I started streaming in January. I think like January 2nd was my first time trying it out, and but I only streamed a few times because I'm in school, so I don't have much time while I'm in school. But I streamed over spring break, and then now that I'm in summer, I'll be streaming a lot. Got a lot more time. So yeah, the past few months I've really just been in Blender really. I haven't been in Godot the past few months, just in Blender creating some assets and stuff for this game I want to put together. Hopefully I can get the demo out by the end of summer, hopefully, in the next few months. And yeah, so in January I created this prototype kind of game that I'm putting together. But now I started over because this is kind of just a prototype. But I'm referring back to it a lot to get this game going. So it's like a 3D RPG puzzle solver kind of game. If you don't mind, can you share me your next milestone for streaming? What is that? What do you mean? I don't know much about streaming yet, much about Twitch. What, do I have milestones? I do have, there's like milestones in Twitch, right? Is that what you're talking about? I'm looking. Oh, you mean your goals for your channel, what you're looking up to achieve in your channel. Okay, so yeah, I'm streaming to try to get exposure for my game, honestly. That's why I'm streaming. Kind of like to market my game that I've been working on. So I don't really have like a set milestone for my Twitch channel. I just want to try to gain viewers so I can get like an audience, you know, get an audience on my game. Because game development is ultimately what I want to do. How long I've been working towards getting more audience on my channel? Well, like I said before, like I haven't been able to consistently stream until this summer. So honestly, I would say I'm just starting trying to get an audience. Hasn't been long. Alright, so I think idle state is good. let's start making the state for run. One state. And we'll have a jump state. And a fall state. I have not activated any growth campaign on my channel now. I think I want to do fall state first. Honestly, I want gravity in here. Right? If nut is on floor, velocity plus equals get gravity times delta. I want that in this entire state. So put it there, get rid of that. And I can also say I want to go to fall state. State chart dot send event fall, because I want everything to be interrupted with this. So let's go back here. I'm gonna move this back to out of menu to fall. To fall, yeah. No, I haven't activated any growth campaign. You think I'm missing out on growth? Well, I basically just started, so we'll see. There's definitely other ways I can try to reach an audience. I don't have Discord. If you want to send me information or something, you could email me. You could send something to my email. caseyboy@gmail.com, just like my Twitch username. Wait, this won't work because we're not in the air when we're jumping. So let me just Control Z on all this. Yeah. And I want this back in idle. Okay. But if we're not on the floor, we always want to add gravity. Yeah. What was my gravity here? Default gravity 9.8. Jolt physics. Physics engine default. That's interesting. So that was default. Here, my physics engine by default is Jolt. Jolt physics is the default for projects created starting Godot 4.6. I mean, I'll take it. It must be better. So what exactly did I do in fall state? I moved the player. So we need the move player function. We need to get that going. If is on floor, state chart descendant, idle. If is on floor, state chart dot send event idle, and then we also need a transition. So this will be to idle. To idle event idle. And we move player. Alright, so let's look at this move player function. Move player function that I did in the prototype. So we have parameter speed, parameter delta, parameter, Boolean parameter is airborne. If input dir, or if our input dir is the vector left, right, up, and down. Direction is the transform. The transform of the character body. Hold up. Interesting. I don't even have the armature in here. Anyway, I got distracted. Direction is transform times vector 3 input dir x input dir y. Okay, got normalized. Direction equals direction dot rotated vector 3 dot up camera controller global rotation. So our direction is following is going to be based on the camera controller rotation. That's really clever. Okay. If direction, so if it's not null. If not is airborne, velocity x equals direction times speed. Okay. else velocity x equals direction times speed. Speed is speed is a parameter. Velocity.x goes lerp from velocity.x to okay, so it would start at 0. Okay, I get that. So delta smoothly rotate the player's skin to follow direction. Target angle vector 3 dot back signed angle to. Not 100% understanding this, and I remember I didn't 100% understand it when I was writing the code for it. I think I used Gemini to help me come up with this. Skin.globalrotation.y equals lerp angle Aleph not as airborne. State chart, that's an event idle. I don't know why I need this. Transition to idle if not moving on ground. Don't I have that already in Fallen? I don't know I have that. Skin.globalrotation.y equals lerp angle skin.rotation.y to target angle. Signed angle to direction, vector theta up. Okay. I'm sort of understanding this, sort of. I don't 100% understand why I split up the skin from the player. Like, why don't I just do, why did I do skin.globalrotation.y instead of just globalrotation.y? I guess it makes sense to split it up. And it worked, so if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? I remember this worked really well in the prototype, so. That means I need another scene with the skin that has the armature and the animation tree. Okay. Let's do that. This is just just a node. Okay. Call it monkey. and I want to cut all this, and put it here. And here we want to add another node. I want to call it skin. Skin. Monkey. Save. And then we'll instantiate monkey. Player. Okay, and then we need a node reference for the skin. And we need a node reference for the camera controller. Okay, and then I think we're good to kind of just copy and paste this function. Run speed with a jump velocity. .5 and 12. Try those. And then we also so we called this in. Called it in running with run speed in delta. We called it in jumping with run speed delta and true. And then in falling, run speed delta and true. Okay. Move player with run speed delta and true. Run state, we need to add a physics process. State physics processing. And we need to call move player with run speed and delta. And then in the jump state, we also need the state physics processing. We need to call move player with run speed, delta, and true. Okay. And then in jump we also did a vertical velocity, right? So jumping or running, we just move player, then transitioned. Jump and idle. Jump. Entered, we did a jump velocity. Okay. So we need a jump entered. Jump state entered. We need to do a velocity dot y equals jump velocity, and then move it slide. Alright, now we need transitions. So fall is just gonna go to idle. Jump is gonna go to falling and idle. So let's add those transitions really quick. To, oh my gosh, to idle, event idle assigned to idle, and then also to fall. To fall is going to fall on event fall. Okay. So that's the jump state done, and the fall state, right? Because fall should just be going to idle once you hit the ground. And then jump is also going to idle and fall. And then the run is going to go to just idle and jump. Yeah. Idle and jump for the run. We don't need the sprints right now. Idle and jump. So let's add those transitions. To idle. Idle on event idle, and to jump on event jump. Okay. All right, I think everything is good. A lot of code, not a lot of testing, so we should probably test it out. Alright, let's see what errors we get. How do I move the state chart debugger? So nothing right now. All we can do is zoom in and out. We are in settings. If I escape, we are now out of menu. We are idle. And then if I hit space, we are in jump, fall, idle, jump, fall, idle, jump, fall, idle. Nice. Movement, run. Okay. So one issue is I'm not holding down run here. I can go from jump to fall. Escape. Okay, it slows it down. If I jump, escape. Ooh. Okay. So maybe I do just want to only be able to go. Wait, no, because I want to be able to go in menu when I'm falling. So I need to add gravity when I'm in menu, I think. Let's do that really quick. So when I'm in menu, in menu compound state, physics processing, we want to add gravity. Yeah. If not is on floor, add gravity. So that should get rid of one of the issues. So now if I jump and hit escape, I'll fall back down. Yep. Jump, escape, I won't just float up in the air. Jump, escape, we go back down. Yep. Jump, escape, we fall back down. Okay. It looks kind of weird. No, that's fine, that's fine. And then the other issue was I never stopped moving in a direction. If not is on floor, if input action, press jump. State, walking, move player on speed on delta. Is it because of the transition? Oh, it might be because of this. If direction. Oh yeah, it is that. It is this. Okay, that's why. So that was important. Yeah. Let's try that now. Yeah, now we stop. Okay, here we go. Look at that movement. Perfect. Now I just need to set up the animations. Okay. Making progress. suppose I should start on the animations. Let's review how the animations work. So we have a node reference to the armature, node reference to the animation tree. This is different. So armature and animation tree. These were abilities, I don't need to worry about that right now. We have an enum for all of the different states. Current and variable blend speed, we got set to 10. All the vowels. Connect to player signals. Call it connect to player signals. What is this? Connect to player signals. Call deferred. Oh wait, connect to player signals is right here. Global.player node .idle.connect. Okay. On idle. Right. So we connect to a bunch of player signals. I need to set up a global global should just have set player reference, player node is player, and player needs to on ready global.set player reference to self. Let's do that really quick. This one's scripts. Let's add a new script. We're going to call this global. And we need to make this an auto load. Scripts global. Okay, we have an auto load. Func set player reference. Player node equals player, var player node. Var player node equals is a node 3D. Player node equals player. And then in our player on ready, Where's ready? Make it. Func on ready. Oh, is it just ready? Func ready. Func ready. Global dot set player reference self, right? Yeah. Oops. Okay, so now we have a global player reference. Boom. We need a bunch of signals, right? We need signals for animation, signal idle, walk. Okay. Signals for animation, signal idle, signal run, signal jump, signal fall. Start with that for now, because that's the states we have. We have idle, run, jump, fall, yeah. And then in all of these physics processing, we want to emit that signal. Yeah. Show an idle state, we want to idle dot emit. In run state, we want to run dot emit. In jump dot emit. And in fall dot emit. And these signals will be captured by our skin scene for animation. When it's ready, we want to connect to player node signals for animation. Connect to player node signals for animation. We'll have a func connect to player signals. Alright, connect to player signals. Signals. Global.player node.idle.connect. Okay. So global player node idle connect, and then this is on idle like that, right? That's the syntax. Oh, there's no connect on idle. Okay, capture player node signals for animation changes. On idle. Right. On idle. Deployed. Capture player node signals for animation. And then this one was connect player node signals. Okay. Let's do this for all of the ones we have so far. Go to player node dot run dot connect on run. Next, we'll do jump next on jump. And we'll do fall. Connect a fall signal. This will be on run, on jump, and on fall. We're gonna need an animation tree. This will have, we want it to be a blend tree. And we want it to assign to this animation player, right? Animation tree. Then connected to node output. Okay. A lot of coding templates right now. Alright, so we connected to the player signals. In the physics process, we need to blend animations, update animations. So blend animations is blending them all together, updating anims is doing all that. What else? We have an enum for all the values. Blend speed, current enum, walk val, run val, fall val. I'll copy this. We're getting close, getting close. I don't need all of these. And I also want to call this just fall, jump, run. Walk, fall. Run, jump, fall. This is supposed to be a physics process. Blend animations, delta, and then we want to update animations. Okay. Alright, looks good, looks good. So we have enum, variables declared. Now I need to set up the animation tree. Get that going. Yeah, here I want to set the current enum. Current enum equals idle. Current enum equals run. Current enum equals jump. Current enum equals fall. Match current enum, so if it's idle, I forgot the syntax of it. Is it colon? Yeah, it's colon. So we want to alert the run val. Run val to 0. By value of blend speed times delta. What's the blend speed at? 10? Val 0. Yeah, okay. Same for jump and everything. Oh wait. Run val equals lerp f. Yeah. And the same thing for jump val and fall val. Jump val equals lerp f from jump val and fall. Fall val and speed times delta. And then all of this should be copied for run, jump, and fall. Run. This should be now 1. Jump. And now this should be 1. And fall. Now that should be 1. And then idle goes to 0. Idle doesn't go to 0? I guess it doesn't need to. The way the animation tree will work. Yeah. Okay. Okay, current anim is set up. Update animations. I need to actually make the tree before I do this. Animation tree. Alright, what's going on with the animation tree? Alright, let's add a new animation. This will be our idle. Idle anim. That's the output. Now player should be being idle. Look at that. We've got movement. Okay. So another animation. This will be start with run. Run anim. And this will be connected to a blend 2. Oh, wait, switch this. Yeah. And then if this is 1, ooh, this is 1, it goes to just running. Cool. We'll call this run blend. Got that in there now. Okay, and let's do an animation for our jump. Or is it jump alt? Which jump do I want to use? Jump. No. Oh wait, I need to disable the animation tree. Okay, play this. I think it's just jump. Jump. Jump anim. We will blend 2. Jump blend. And then finally let's do fall right now. Fall. Fall anim. That will be blended. Fall blend. we have all of our parameters. Now we can, I think the last thing I need to do is set up the update animations, and then we should have animations working. So here we need animation tree. Do I not have a node reference for animation tree? I don't. Node references. Animation tree. Looks like we need no reference to the armature as well. Why do I need a node reference to the armature? I don't think I do. Maybe it's for something little somewhere. Yeah, so animation tree parameters equals 1. Okay. Animation tree. Run blend amount equals run val. Animation tree. The jump blend equals jump val. And finally animation tree amount equals fall val. Alright, I think it's all good. So technically I should have animations now. Moment of truth, I guess. We're calling it gotta multiply by delta. No way it doesn't work with any errors. That was a lot of code. Oh, okay. Okay, everything's still working good. We're idling right now. Move. We're running. Look at that. Jump. Ooh. Look at that. It's a little clunky. Need to make some adjustments, but looks like everything is working pretty much the way I wanted it to. Yeah, I need to tweak the blending just a little bit, but it's pretty good. I think I need to reset the jump. Right, because the first time the jump looked good. Yeah, then it's just going straight up, so I need to reset the jump. Yeah, I need to reset the jump. Like do a jump seek request. How did I do that here? On jumping, current animation zone. Does it reset automatically here? I don't. I don't have a seek request for jumping here. Is it just because there's a pose, maybe? Yeah. Okay, just because it's a pose. Yeah. Okay, so I need a secret quest. Let's do that before I hop off today. Let's make the jump work correctly. So for the jump blend, I need a secret quest. And the secret quest goes... in between the anim secret quest goes in between anim and blend. Why am I saying secret quest? It's time seek secret quest. What am I saying? Okay, time seek. And that's by default -1, and then I want to set it to 0. I want to set it to 0 here on jump. Animation tree, and this is going to be the secret quest. Wait, honestly, why do I keep saying secret quest? It's time seek. I will call it jump restart. Jump restart equals 0. And I probably want this before we set the current anim to jump, right? Yeah, so there's no like stuttering. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so I want to speed up the jump a little bit in Blender, but now it's restarting every time. Good movement. Yeah, so that jump is definitely too slow. Do I like the height of the jump? Yeah, I like the height. Oh, you know what? One thing is changing the gravity. The gravity should be different when you go up versus down. It just feels better, right? Like in here, in the prototype I made, if you go to player, in the jump, oh, we still have it at 2. But in fall, we have it multiplied by 3. So the up gravity is less than the down gravity. So let's split that up really quick. So in the jump, okay. So in menu compound state 3, and then here I guess we're just adding the gravity for jump and fall. And then this would be times 3. And I don't need not is on 4. Yeah, I don't need not is on 4. I don't need to check that. Alright, so falling dot emit, gravity plus equals delta times 3. Jumping, gravity. So I want to make sure I'm not adding double gravity anywhere. Gravity in menu, but that's different than out of menu. Not adding gravity here. Alright. Okay. So the gravity going up should be less than going down. Up. Yeah, I like that door. So you can kind of squirt down. Honestly, it could be even more. We'll keep it like that for now. Alright, good progress, good progress. I think that's where I'm going to call it today. This. Yeah, good progress. Alright. I'll be back maybe tomorrow, but most definitely on Thursday. I'll come back to stream some more. Adios.